Welcome, this is the web component development video series. In this video I'm going to talk about JSP tag libraries or the JSTLs. So let's see what are those JSTLs. So initially web designers use scriptlets in JSP pages to generate dynamic content. So this resulted in readability issues and also made it difficult to maintain the JSP page. So custom tags were introduced to overcome the problem faced using these scriptlets. Although custom tag provided to be better choice than the scriptlets, they had certain limitations too. So web designers had to spend a lot of time in coding, packaging and testing all those custom tags before using them. So this meant the web designers were often left with the little time to concentrate in the designing part rather than the programming. They had to do a lot of programming in order to achieve those custom tags. So the introduction of those JSTL has provided web developers a very good help to overcome those shortcomings of the custom tags by encapsulating the common functionalities like all those loops, more basic things that developers need for dynamic content. And these functionalities included the usage of tag libraries such as Core, SQL and XML, JSTL and XML. Also JSTL is introduced particularly for those web designers who are not well versed with Java programming. So JSTL 1.2 introduced in the Java EE5 platform aligns with the unified EL or the expression language, and that is how the JSTL was introduced and the reason to introduce those JSTL. So let's move on to the features of those JSTL. So features means those are the main things listed in here. It provides support for conditional processing and uniform resource locator, the URL, related actions to process URL resources in the JSP page, and also provides an XML tag library which helps you to manipulate XML documents and perform actions related to conditional and iteration processing on past XML documents, and enables web applications to be accessed globally by providing the internationalization tag library. Internationalization means that an application can be created to adapt to various locations, so the people are different from regions and access the application in their native languages. So that was a very good feature in this JSTL, and this enables interaction with the relation database by using the various SQL commands. Web application requires database to store information, and other one is provides a series of functions for manipulations such as checking whether an input string contains a substring specified as an parameter to function returning the number of the items in a collection or something like that. So those are the main features of those JSTL. And next we can see the main tag libraries in JSTL. So these are the main tag libraries which are included in JSTL. First one is core tags. Core tags have variable support, flow control, URL management, miscellaneous file handling of core data, core functionalities that to need to develop a dynamic web page. And we can use this URI to implement the core tags into our JSP page, and we can use the prefix C to mention that we are using core tags, as well as the XML tag library. It allows us flow controls, transmission and local. So this is the URI to introduce to XML tags, as well as the prefix is X and internationalization tag library, and it helps to message formatting, number and date formatting. So those formatting things are doing by these formatting tags or the internationalization tag, and the URI is this, as well as the prefix is this one, FMT. And SQL tag library, it gives us the access of the database manipulation. So this is the URI, as well as the prefix is SQL. And functions tag library, it provides us with collection length, string manipulation, as well as the URI is this, and prefix is FN. So we can see the simple syntax for a JSTL. So this is the given syntax for include any kind of JSTL that we need. So we have to provide the URI as the previous I mentioned, and as well as the prefix. So this is the basic syntax for JSTL. And now we can see some of the main tags which are available in the JSTL libraries. First one is JSTL core tags. So those are the main core tags that we can access to this core tag library. So C means the prefix, out is the function. So we can put an C colon out to display some result, an expression or similar way to the expression this one we use in script using normal tag works. So C is so import function, we can retrieve or relative or an absolute URL and display the content to either a string in a var or render in var reader or the page. So we can use set to result an expression under evaluation in the scope variable, and we can likewise we can remove catch if. This is the simple if condition for the if block that we can use as an in a Java program. So it given as an code tag as well, so we can similarly use as an if block in Java, normal Java, as well as for each and simple for loop for an iteration, and for tokens, param, redirect, URL. Okay, so those are the main core tags that are included in the core tag library. Next we can see some JSTL function tags. These are fn contains. It used to test an input string containing the specific substring in the program. So contain SL contains ignore case and ends with escape XML, index of string. Those are mainly the string operations that we can do to a string, and to lowercase, uppercase, substring after, substring before, length, replace. Those are the main function tags that are included in function tag library. As well as there are other three core libraries that I'm not going to explain all the functions. They have also contain many functions like the XML tag library, internationalization tag library, and the SQL tag library. Those also contain these kind of functions or attributes that we can do certain things using those core tags, using those JSTL tags. And next I'm going to talk about the main advantages of those JSTL. So basically we can use neat and clean coding approach using this JSTL, because JSTL tags are similar to the HTML because they are also XML tags. So we can use similar type of coding inside of the JSP page. That will be very easy to identify the coding and the processes within the JSP page. So it is one advantage of this JSTL. And standard tags and automatic support for Java bin introspection, and easy for computers to understand and easier for humans to read. So those are the main advantages that we can achieve through those JSTL tags. And now I'm going to show you JSTLs using in real life application using some example codes. So let's move on to that. So I have created the project and I'm created the JSP page as well, index JSP page. So first, before we using the core tags, I'm going to first use the core tags. So before using the JSTL tags, we have to mention that we are using core tags or the in front of tag library. So first we have to mention tag lib, and we have to give the URI, and I'm first using JSTL core tags, as well as we have to mention the prefix as C. Now we are ready to use JSTL core tags. So in order to first, I'm going to use C/out. I'm first going to use the out function, out tag out. I'm going to set the value. I'm going to give an expression language syntax. So that is the value, and I'm going to end the tag. So this is the syntax for out tag. We can mention the value inside of the tag as an expression language, or directly we can say I just add it in as an expression language. So now I'm going to reload the code, so we can see it now printed as the hello world, that is the cout tag. Then we can use the condition tags, or the if tag. We can use C/if. We can mention our condition in here. We can do the condition text as the text, and we can mention a kind of an argument in here. I'm going to give it as an expression language as well. If 2 less than 4, then we have to continue. We can mention the if condition or the if block within those two starting tag and the ending tag. We can mention the things that we need to print inside of these tags. So I'm going to print paragraph, go to add paragraph and mention inside if block. Now if we run this program, now we should get the inside the block as well. You can see I got the inside if block text as well, and if I give a wrong condition here, then it should not print those text. You see that text was gone. So that is the way we can use this if tag to put any kind of a condition inside of this. Now the main other thing that we use in most of the times in coding, the for loop or iteration. So I'm going to use c/for each. For each is the main iteration for tag that we can use in JSTL core library. So first we can set an beginning of an starting point. So first I'm going to add 1, and end should be, I'm going to add as an, let's say 20. Then we have to mention an variable, and I'm going to set as num, and we can set the step as well. That means how many steps that need to skip from 1 to 20. So I'm going to give a step 2. Then we have to end the close the tag, and we can mention any kind of thing inside of the for each tag. Then it will loop the body as we mentioned in the starting tag of the for each. So I'm going to just give an c.out, and I'm going to give an value, and I'm going to print the number. I'm just going to print the simply number, or the number means the variable that we have assigned in here for the for each, that it will print the number inside of the for loop. So that is the code is doing right now. So I'm going to execute and run the program. So you can see we printed the numbers that we need to that I have mentioned in the for each. By it skips by 2, so the gap between those numbers are 2, so that's why the step I was given was 2. That's why that gap is 2, and that is the for each main thing that we can use. And likewise we can use for JSTL for exception handling or view exception. So I'm going to give an exception catch. So we have to give catch, so we have to give a variable, and we have to give a name, we will give error, and we have to give closing tag. We can mention something that we are not certain that it may generate errors. So then it will catch those errors and do nothing to do any harm for the program flow. It will continue, but it will execute within the catch tag and give the error into this variable. Then we can access the variable and take the error out. So I'm going to give an error, that definite error that going to happen. So I'm going to give an Java tag, script tag. I'm going to print as equals 5 divided by 0. That then we know that it will give an 0 divided error, 0 division error. So I'm going to just print, it will give us an error mentioning here as well, and I'm going to just print, and I'm going to get the error as well. So I'm going to give an c/out, and variable value should be the error. So now it should be fine. If I run this one now, it should give an error, but it will not do anything for the program flow. It will execute without an issue, but when we execute, that error was printed in here, divided by 0 error. So that's how we can use those core tags within an application, and those are the main things that we can use. And another one I can mention here is a URL function. We can simply add an href and give an URL anchor tag. We can give the href and give an URL tag URL and set the value as let's say I'm going to get an sample one. I'm just going to give the value as this way, and then in the tag URL. After that, I'm going to close the anchor tag as well. So click here or something. So this is the basic URL core tag that we can use inside of an application. So I'm going to reload the page, so it will give the click here one. If I click this one, it will redirect me into the given URL. This is the URL that I have given into the href as well as the core tag. So that is the main idea using these JSTL tags. Likewise, there are other four main tag libraries, core tags, and other than core tags, XML, SQL, and other ones. So we can use those tags in a similar manner to the core tags as well. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching.